Good morning, everybody. This is the Friday, April 16th meeting of the Westwood School Building Committee. I would like to call this meeting to order and take attendance with a roll call. So, Ken Aries.
Here.
Brian Bayer.
Here.
Chris Coleman. Oh, I don't think he's here yet. Sarah Cronin.
Here.
John Cummings.
Here.
Charlie Donahue.
Here.
Pam can't join. Mary Kate Ferreira.
I'm here.
Jen Flanders.
Here.
Abby can't join. Nancy Hyde.
Here.
Lama Jean-Baptiste.
Here.
Josepha Jowdy.
Here.
Carol Lewis.
Here.
Michelle Miller. I saw you.
Here.
There you are. No, that's okay. Tony Mullen.
Here.
Emily Parks.
Here.
And Amanda Phillips.
Here.
Great. Okay. Welcome, everybody. I would like to recognize the live stream that's providing real-time public access to the activities of the School Building Committee, available online at www.westwood.k12.ma.us/live. This meeting is also being recorded for later broadcast on Westwood Media Center's platforms. So jumping right into the reports, updates. So in what is very, very, very important and good news for this group and for the town, the MSBA had its April board meeting 2 days ago on Wednesday. And in that board meeting, they voted to approve the Hanlon Deerfield School project and issue a grant subject to town meeting approval for an amount up to $18,235,725, which includes contingencies. This is a huge step for this project. We are so excited. And honestly, it is due all to the hard work of the district administration who filed this statement of interest to begin with years ago, and all the teachers and staff who participated in that. To Compass and Doran Whittier, our esteemed team who has led us effortlessly through the MSBA process. We have had strong support from the select board and from the town administrator. The community has been fantastic with this project and responding and providing feedback. And of course, I can't say enough about this committee, which has made this so exciting and efficient and just a great team. And I'm very proud of this group on the screen and of everyone involved in this. This is a huge accomplishment, and it was a great day, and it will be a great day. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we will get to tap into that fund. But I just want to say a very big thank you to everybody on this call in particular. This is a wonderful group, and thank you all. So very excited about that.
I'm going to jump in and say a big thank you to you for your leadership on this committee. You have been an unbelievable leader for this process. So thank you very much for all of your work, which has been practically a full-time job. So thank you.
Thank you, Emily. All right. So moving on, next item. Town meeting in May. This is actually not on the agenda. I forgot to include this, but I wanted to talk about the bridge funding article. So as we have discussed in detail, at this May town meeting, the school committee is putting forth a warrant article for bridge funding for this project. I think we all know it's in the amount of up to $1.46 million. And this is to kick us into design development over the summer. So that in the fall, when we go to town meeting and hopefully the project is passed, we can go immediately to the bid documents and stay on budget and on schedule. Just a reminder, without this bridge funding, the project would be delayed by about 6 months. So the cost implications of that, we have estimated at around $750,000 in increase to the project total. And the schedule impact means that it would push our construction start date from July 2022, which is a great time to start construction, to December 2022, which is not a great time to start construction. So hopefully I would, I'd love everyone to encourage their neighbors to attend town meeting and to listen to the warrant article. And it should be a and I think it's a somewhat of a shorter town meeting because it is outdoors still. This is on Monday, May 3rd, but I encourage everyone to attend and spread the word, and hopefully we will be able to move this project forward into due diligence over the summer. Are there any questions about the bridge funding? Oh, I should mention, this is important, the FinCom reviewed it and has voted to approve, has voted to recommend this warrant article. That's an important piece of information as well. Okay. Third, more town meeting talk. Now I'm talking about the special town meeting and special election, which will be held in the fall. Just not much to say about this at this point, just a reminder to everybody that that is when the full project vote will be occurring. And that will happen regardless of what happens with the bridge funding article. So I think that, we're starting to do a lot of outreach about this project. And if anyone has any ideas on how we can reach areas of the community that we haven't really been able to tap into, please let me know. And we can really try and make sure that everyone is as informed about this project as they can be. I think we've done a pretty good job, but I know there's people that are still gonna, still don't know about this project. So any ideas for reaching those people, that would be great, and pass them along. And I'll be saying again to urge everyone to go to town meeting come this fall. So. And then there will be a subsequent special election. And as soon as, hopefully if both of those pass, then we will be off and running officially with this project. Any questions on the fall town meeting? Nope. Okay. I am going to turn it over to Rob. I think what he is going to do is as we mentioned, if we do get the bridge funding approval, we're going to move into design development, the next phase after schematic design. And we need a schedule for that of what we're going to do. So Rob is here to present that schedule. Take it away.
Maya, I found this photo and I thought it was kind of apropos to where we are right now, particularly in the pandemic, but it can apply to multiple levels. We're all geared up and ready to go.
Yeah, we've got the mask. We're ready.
So today, as Maya mentioned, is going to be very quick. We're just going to provide an overview of the project schedule and particularly the design development work plan. So just as a reminder of the overall project schedule, as Maya mentioned, there's an upcoming town vote on May 3rd. We go into design development, which is this phase here. The votes in the fall. After that, there's a MSBA enters into a project funding agreement with the district. We begin to prepare construction documents, put it out to bid. This is the construction phase. Students move in, and then the remaining site work. So today we're going to focus on this little area right here. So between now and the town votes in October, we have a number of things to review. So in May, we are going to be focusing primarily on our user group meetings. So that means, meeting with faculty and staff. Really want to meet with them first before everybody heads out for the summer. So looking to get feedback and input on educational spaces, indoor and outdoor, review with maintenance and kitchen staff, go over the building systems, HVAC, electrical, technology, plumbing, and so forth, review security and safety, meet with after school, extended day staff and the other after school activities, recreation and so forth. And we're also interested in student input. We mentioned this to Emily, and she was very receptive to this idea. Whether it's reaching out to some middle school students that may have gone through the buildings, or tapping into maybe the 4th and 5th graders. So we'd like to continue that discussion to look for ways to get some involvement there if we can. In June, we would be reviewing the project with town officials and community groups. So, police and fire and planning and so on. We'd like to reach out to the abutters in the neighborhood, review the project with them again. There are a number of biking and hiking environmental groups that have expressed some interest in the project. So we'll be reaching out to them as well. Recreation and athletic groups, PTOs, Commission on Disability, and if there's any others that we're missing, please let us know, and any other groups that are interested in the project, and we'd be happy to go over questions and input from them. And through all this process, we'll be doing site and building development of the plans, and on a parallel track, is obviously the community outreach that would be happening.
Excuse me, Ron, it's Michelle. Yes. Is there on your list to reach out to people in the Sheehan community specifically? And I ask that because I think it's obvious that we want to reach out to everybody that is living near Hanlon for various reasons. But I've actually heard concerns, and I think everybody has over the time, of this school is going to be wonderful, it really is. But then the follow-on for some people, depending on where you live, is, well, what about the Sheehan? And this group is well aware of the what about the Sheehan question, but that might be helpful in terms of, hey, you're not getting left in the cold. Those kids are going to have a great school too. It just won't be this week. So just to kind of get that message out, because we need everybody across town to vote for a great school.
Yeah. So Michelle, I absolutely 100% agree with that. I think in the context of Rob's work, he's sort of the project manager for the Hanlon Deerfield project, but the school committee has, Doran Whittier, another person within Doran Whittier, is going to be presenting to the school committee certain options for Sheehan, either in May or June. And at that point, the school committee, I think, will be reaching out to the Sheehan community and making sure that they know that Sheehan is the priority for the school committee. So I think that, in terms of this schedule, this is specifically design development for Hanlon Deerfield, but we are certainly aware of Sheehan, and I think that's going to be the school committee's focus when they get more information about the Sheehan project that Doran Whittier has been working on. Okay, that makes total sense. I mean, you're on top of this, so it's a matter of sometimes they are two separate projects, yes, but we actually need the same people to vote on both. Yes. So, 100%. Yeah. And we absolutely know that, at least, from my perspective, I've been saying in public meetings, I'm an advocate for the schools as a member of the school committee. And for me, Sheehan is a high priority for municipal projects. So, but there will be more to come on Sheehan. Great. Sounds great. Thanks so much. Thanks, Michelle.
I'd just like to say, I think we've done an excellent job on this being a school, a resource for the town and a resource for all of our schools. And I think we've done a great job at that. I just asked the committee to begin to think more about that issue too, because there are some wonderful points that could be made on how this is a resource, not just for that immediate school, but for other schools and for the community and for many of the other activities in the town. And I think the more creative we can be in emphasizing that, the more powerful it would be to get the other schools to support this.
Absolutely. Thank you, Charlie.
So then in July, we'll be taking all that information that we gathered from May and June and continuing on in full design development mode, following up on any outstanding items, maybe additional meetings or follow-up meetings that we might need to have to confirm questions and so forth. We'll be reviewing colors, finishes, and interior design elements at that point. And then in August, again, any other follow-on items to kind of wrap up the design development package. August will be authorizing submission to cost estimators as well. So we'll send that out to get cost estimates from 2 independent cost estimators, similar to last time. And then in September, we'll be reviewing the cost estimates when they come in, and the final design development package, and then authorizing that to be sent to the MSBA. That provides the overview. I can go over anything if anyone has any follow-up questions to that.
Does anyone have any suggestions on other groups that Rob should reach out to? I know, Rob, you had on there environmental, and I'm thinking specifically WEAC should definitely be on that list. Do people have other thoughts? I think maybe I don't know, any other, I mean, if not now, certainly, send them to me or send them to Rob.
I think we go to the COA.
Yes.
I was going to say that too.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, May, I don't know what the format would be, but I'm a member of WEAC, and I was thinking for us it might be nice if this is the format, if Rob would do a just brief presentation on just that part of it or something, and we could give input.
Yep.
That would be, Rob, would that be kind of the plan, to work with these groups, is give them a quick overview and then gather input?
Exactly. Yep.
So I would suggest that, like for WEAC, it could focus on the sustainability issues and the energy use. I know that group would love to see all the details of that. I've sort of summarized it, but so we could invite you to a meeting.
Yeah, definitely. And that'll be kind of our approach, is with each of these groups, just a very brief overview of their project. And then if there's anything specific that pertains to that particular group, we'll kind of make more of an emphasis in that area.
I think maybe CPAP too. I don't know if now is the right time, but I think that's a group of parents that would want to hear more details.
Yeah,
Definitely.
might be a nice idea too, like to consider each of these groups could sort of sponsor the project or give their stamp of approval to the project. I know WEAC's very excited about the direction of this building, and it has a standard almost for future buildings. So it could be something definitely they would vote to support, I think.
Yeah. And
I was
included
thinking, oh, sorry.
Sorry, Brian, is Tom Philbin on WEAC, or is he someone that we should invite separately?
He could come to that. He is a ex officio.
Ex officio.
So he doesn't come to every
Okay.
meeting, but he is invited to some meetings and comes when he
Yep. Oh, and which reminds me.
Maya, I was
Rob,
also going to say, I think you've already.
Go ahead. Mary Kate, was that Mary Kate?
I think you've been in touch with like Westwood. Yes, it's me. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. I was going to say, I think you've been in touch with Westwood Youth Soccer and Westwood Basketball Association. I was also thinking Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, who also often use elementary space for their meetings. And I can't think of any other that space, but I'm sure other people in this group may have some in mind.
Yeah, no, those are great. I think I agree. I think reaching out, especially because the Scout House is right behind the school. So I think that makes a lot of sense. And then also I was thinking the Permanent Building Committee should be on that list.
I would like to see if we could explore, Emily. We've talked about this being the school in the woods. And I remember visiting the Needham School, and it was right on a kind of a wooded area, and they had trails, and they emphasized nature and nature into the curriculum from that school. And I'm wondering whether we could share with the other schools the geography of where the school is, and begin to maybe think of creative ways of having nature in our science curriculum, where kids could come from other schools for a morning and do a tour of the wooded areas, and have somebody from Hale pointing out the flora and the fauna and the trees and the birds and the animals, because it would be a way of sharing that beautiful resource with other schools, and maybe make it a part of the curriculum where kids in certain grades would spend a morning or an afternoon in the winter tracking animals, and in the summer. So I just think it's a resource that could be shared with a lot of schools, and we could get very creative. I know the people at Hale are very used to doing this kind of thing and could advise us, but just to become a part of the science curriculum, I just think there's a huge opportunity there that is a way of showing how we could share that school with other schools.
Great. I think those are great ideas. And once we have the educational programming in place, I think, Emily and Sarah working with the other principals could really, really brainstorm some great ideas to get the other schools involved.
I have a quick question related to these forums that you're going to have with the key stakeholders. Are you thinking like 1 or 2 forums and inviting all of these groups to, or are you thinking that you'll go out to their meetings, like let's say like CPAC or whatever, and speak to the smaller groups?
They select certain groups that all have similar interests. For example, if we're talking about the play fields and outdoor areas, we might invite the soccer and the basketball and all of the recreation type related type of groups together to give that one presentation. So we'll try to find if there's any similarities between any of these groups, and if any of them make sense to invite together, because we'll be giving the same presentation, then we would do that. If the WEAC, for example, if there's any other environmental groups or sustainably minded environmental groups that we feel, or that anybody feels that should be part of that, we can invite them to that same presentation, that sort of thing.
Don't forget the Little League Baseball.
Yeah, they've been involved. We've they were on the initial call, so we'll definitely include them.
Maya, this is Nancy. When you think about all these meetings, I think somehow there needs to be coordination with, to the extent there can be, with the campaign committee to get out the vote come October. Because I don't know that you can go at them twice on the same project. So I just put that out there as something to think about.
It's a good point.
Maya, when the final list of meetings and invited members is made, can we share that with the school building committee just so we see who's on there, and if anyone's missing, we can just suggest a name?
Absolutely.
And,
I was also thinking there's a neighborhood pedestrian and bike safety group. They're probably already in your general list, but I'm literally thinking of things as I'm sitting here.
If people have the specific names, because I remember a few of the people spoke up at one of the community forums. People are familiar with the specific names and contacts. That would be helpful so that you know who to reach out to. You mentioned COA and CPAC. Can someone?
Yeah. So CPAC is the Special Education Parent Advisory Council. So maybe, if we're looking for synergies here, that could be with the Commission of Disabilities. Maybe that's the same group. And the COA is the Council on Aging. We can figure out, what makes sense and how to, because I agree with Nancy's point that, we don't want to overburden people's. So we do need to think about the best way to approach some of these groups and honestly, how best to reach them. Because some of them may be more interested in the advocacy piece as opposed to the information gathering piece.
Right.
I think for the COA, it would be helpful to have a special forum for them to give.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that, and similar to Fox Hill, we did that when we were doing the feasibility study. We presented to those groups because, they're not on the district distribution list. And I think that maybe not so much for Rob's purposes, but for purposes of just informing them about the project and making sure that they know when they go to town meeting, what's going to be in front of them.
Yeah.
But it'll be helpful to have either someone on the school building committee or someone in the district to help kind of with this process of identifying these groups and seeing, when they meet and doing that sort of initial contact.
Oh, you faded out, Rob.
I was just saying it'll be helpful to have somebody from the school building committee or the school district to identify all of these different groups and their contacts and when they meet, and use some of that sort of pre-planning work.
Yeah,
this is
yeah, and
July.
I can help you with that. I mean, we can work on the admin piece of this, coordinating these forums, meetings, whatever they are. Any other thoughts?
I have a question. With the cost getting honed in on with design development, are we planning to have another value engineering session going forward? I know a lot of people keep bringing up cost, so it would be nice to have a response like, oh yes, we're going to sit down again and go through again with another fine tooth comb and kind of sit and debate some of these.
So I defer to Rob, but I think the answer is absolutely, right, Rob?
Yes.
I hope.
Yes. So,
Rob, can I jump in for a second? If we bring in the project on budget, then that exercise will be much smaller. But if it is over the budget, then yes, we will be going through it with a very fine-tooth comb. Sorry.
I was just going to add, so the process is that in terms of the cost estimates, we have our own cost estimator that's going to provide us a 50% design development cost, just to kind of as a check-in in the middle of design development. The formal design development cost estimating effort will be in August, where we'll have two cost estimators provide cost estimates on the design development set. At that time, there's a reconciliation period where we review both cost estimates, and that's the opportunity, as Chin mentioned. If we're over, we start to, we pull back out our value management items and have that sort of discussion about that at that point. Then during construction documents, we have a 60% cost estimate and then a 90% cost estimate. So there's three, very specific time periods where we do this cost estimating prior to going out to bid. And at each of these points, it's the same process. We have two cost estimators. We come together, we reconcile the two of them. We sit back and say, okay, how are we doing? Are we in line with where we want to be, or do we need to make some decisions or adjustments in order to get it back into the budget?
So will there be, even if every single cost estimator comes in and says, yep, you're on budget, you're on budget, you're on budget, will we still have opportunities to look at some of the things and say, you know what, we actually don't need that, or is that only an option if we're coming in over budget?
Well, in design development phase will be the phase when, if there are any points where people just want to make some changes, just because they feel that they want to do something different than what we're proposing. Design development phase is the phase to do that.
Okay.
Ideally, we the further along with that we get with the drawings in construction documents, we really don't want to be making any design changes at all in construction documents if we can help it, because we've invested a significant amount of time getting to that point. So it'll be minor things, hopefully in construction documents.
If you look at the schedule that Rob had established, that there is so we will get a 50% cost estimate, give us an idea, a 50% DD estimate that will give us an idea where we are, but prior to going out for the DD estimate by the two estimator, there is it is built into the schedule that for the committee to approve essentially the scope of work. This is what we are going out to price, and the project includes the following. And so there are opportunity for you to look at, and then as we go forward, so to make this for decision making and checking.
Okay. Any other questions? Nope. Anything before I move on to the action items? All right. So first action item, vote to approve the meeting minutes of March 5th, 2021. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second? Okay, is there any discussion on the meeting minutes? Nope. All right, I'll do a roll call. Ken?
Yes.
Yes.
Brian? Chris?
Yes.
Yes.
Sarah? John?
Yes.
Charlie?
Yes.
Mary Kate?
Yes.
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
Lemma?
Yes.
Josepha?
Mayor, I was
Carol?
not at that meeting, so I'm.
Okay, you are, okay.
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Emily?
Yes.
Amanda? And I am a yes. Motion is carried. All right, second action item. Vote to approve Compass Project Management's contract amendment number 2, the extended owner's project manager service for schematic design. Chin, do you want to just give us a quick overview of what this is?
So the original contract that we signed had a schedule that the project was going to be submitted in January for the February MSBA board meeting, and then but due to COVID and other things, that the whole thing got pushed back. And so this is just to cover the additional month, the delta between the previous schedule and the current schedule. That is, and this should cover the basically until this to the month of April.
Great,
for
and this
2 months.
this is coming out of the unallocated
Correct.
feasibility fund budget. So, all right, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Can I get a second? Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Okay, Ken?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Thanks. Sarah?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Charlie? Mary Kate?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Nancy? Lemma?
Yes.
Yes.
Josepha?
Yes.
Carol?
Yes.
Michelle? Tony?
Yes.
Emily? And Amanda? And I am a yes. Motion is carried. The third action item is the vote to approve payment of invoices totaling $110,278.97. Those are comprised of 2 invoices, one from Compass Project Management for $20,748 and one from Doran Whittier for $89,530.97. Can I get a motion to
So
approve?
moved. Brian?
Can I get a second? All right, any discussion? Okay, going to roll call. Ken?
Yes.
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Charlie?
Yes.
Mary Kate?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Nancy? Lemma?
Sorry. Yes.
Yes.
Josepha?
Yes.
Carol?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Emily?
Yes.
Amanda? And I am a yes. Motion is carried. Is there any new business that anyone would like to raise? Okay, hearing none. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion
When
on
is our next
adjourning?
meeting, Mayor?
Hearing none. When is our next meeting? That's a good question.
Mayor, it's May
Let me see if I can
4th.
quickly answer that.
May 4th is a
Thank you.
Tuesday.
It's May
I
7th.
apologize, May 7th,
May 7th.
May 7th and June 4th.
And is there
for the
Okay.
will
next
there be
two.
an upcoming schedule for the summer? does this extend through the summer? And
So I think we are planning to send that out shortly. Is that right, John? Chin, we
Yeah.
discussed it, didn't
we will need to have a meeting basically every month because there will be design decisions as well as just regularly process invoices, so that you should expect we need to meet every month from now to effectively project closing in order to keep the project moving. And we'll have to work out the schedule. So I'll work with John on setting up that schedule.
Chin, when you say project closing, do you mean the finality of the build?
Because essentially, when you get closer to at least to when the contractor is done with the project.
How does that relate to what the Permanent Building Committee does? What does this group do versus the Permanent Building Committee, which takes over?
If you want to, it's at town's discretion to transfer that to the Permanent Building Committee. So let me rephrase that. So if this is if the town's decision is to transfer this to Permanent Building Committee, and then we can still satisfy the MSBA requirement, then it just simply the Permanent Building Committee will take over from there forward.
I think you have to look at what the charter requires of the Permanent Building Committee. I don't know that locally it's a choice. To the MSBA, it might be,
right.
But the Permanent Building Committee has responsible for all our building projects.
So what happens in that case is that in towns where the Permanent Building Committee needs to take over is that you add the necessary membership into the Permanent Building Committee only for this project to satisfy both the MSBA requirement as well as the town's requirement.
That makes sense.
So some members of this committee currently would have to, like for instance, superintendent would have to continue on through the entire process.
So if I'm not mistaken, I believe the town moderator who does appoint the PBC has already either communicated or working with two members of the SBC to serve as members of the PBC should once this project is approved. Excuse me, let me say it that way.
Yeah, I think I may already. I believe I was already sworn in as an ex officio.
It's May and Emily, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Yeah, we've been sworn in.
So we are ex officio on the Permanent Building Committee, presumably for this purpose.
Welcome to the committee.
Thank you.
I do want to say to Nancy Hyde, thank you very much for all of your service as you'll be dropping off as select person.
John, you beat me to the punch.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought we were at the end. Go ahead, man. Take it away.
I just wanted to say that, so as you know, Nancy is not running for re-election for the select board. She's exploring other opportunities in the town, which is exciting. But has served on this committee for now, 3 years as the select board representative, 2 years. And has been outstanding. I mean, the contributions, Nancy, that you have made to this committee are invaluable. Your insights, your institutional knowledge of how things work, and your knowledge of construction projects, municipal projects. You will be sorely missed, very, very much missed. And I just want to thank you publicly for your dedication to this project, and hope that we will continue to see you involved. So thank you very, very much, and we will miss you. Yay! I don't know how we clap on Zoom, but
thank you very much.
Okay. Anything else? Nope. All right, now I will take the roll call for adjourning. Ken.
Yes.
Brian. Chris.
Yes.
Sarah. John.
Yes.
Charlie. Mary Kate.
Yes.
Jen.
Yes.
Nancy.
My final yes.
Lemma.
Yes.
Josepha.
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Emily, Amanda,
Yes.
and I am a yes. We are officially adjourned. Thank you everyone again for the MSBA result. I think it's fabulous, very exciting for this town, and for your hard work. I know I don't even know how many hours we've put in. I think Charlie told me to count them up, and I'm not even sure if I can. But I do want to thank everyone. And I hope everyone has a nice long weekend. And if you're taking vacation next week, everyone has a nice vacation week off. And we'll be back at it next month.
And attend May 3rd town meeting.
Yes, May 3rd, Monday, outside.
For those of
Attend
you
town
who
meeting.
can. Yes.